Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on another cosplay type build. And I know it's getting close to Halloween, and I want to do more of these as well as my other MMO crap because I'm building things like this for that series, and that's why it takes so long, if you're wondering about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, MMO crap is my little web series there. It's the latest episode on the screen somewhere. But I want to talk more about this foam. I get a lot of questions about this when I, like, on the cosplay foam armor build. I thought I explained it pretty well, but if not, this is diamond tread. There's puzzle pieces that you cut off if you're going to make the armor, but we're going to make a Deku shield as you see by the sketch, and we're not going to need to cut off the little nipple-y things, little puzzle pieces. This is flooring that you buy in the gym, like home gym section, like workout equipment. It's also an automotive section. If you want to look there, it's fatigue mats for you to walk on. But we're going to use it here because you can heat it and bend it. You can cut it. You can foam shape it. It's foam. It's good for LARP. It gets the point across, and we're going to be using that today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. But you should be able to find this at Walmart. It's where I got it. Target, Kmart, everywhere that I've went usually has it. So maybe a sporting goods store. So keep that in mind. But that is all you need to know about the foam. And let me move on to the other things we have here. We have the leather brown Krylon paint, which you don't have to have Krylon. If you're on a budget, they got 99-cent paints, some on clearance, just whatever you can find, and it's dark brown. That's all you need. You can also use acrylic paint, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really used a lot on painting foam, so I don't know the bendiness of the foam may break and crack it, but we'll give that a shot. Also, we're going to need some red of the same color, but you can easily find red at a 99-cent can, so feel free to use that. You're going to need a Dremel tool. I think this one was $25, but if you're doing any kind of cosplay crafting, this is going to be something you're going to buy. The battery-powered, I will say, this is my opinion, I like it, but it runs out of battery. And if you're in the creative juju, and you have to stifle your creativity even for a slight second, I know my attention span kind of will dwindle off, and then I'll find myself on World of Warcraft or playing something else and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I wouldn't really look at getting the battery-powered ones unless you're doing some kind of little stuff that ain't going to take long. But if you're really going to be sanding and shaping foam, I would suggest getting a corded one. It's just going to be better in the long run. But I have a battery-powered one, so I'm a hypocrite. There, we need that. Safety first. You're going to need your little razor cutter. I would use this because it actually works better for carving. Some chip brushes, as they're called. You can search them and find these like in boxes of 30 for like $13 or $1 a piece at your local paint shop. They're really crappy. That's why I say they're chip brushes. They're for like one-time use, throw them out. You don't wash them. You don't need to wash these. You can if you're really frugal, but you don't need to wash them. And of course, your favorite Kelly Clarkson CD downloaded to your iPhone to listen to while you do it. At this point, I hope you realize I don't really like Kelly Clarkson. But let's begin. All right, first things first, with the foam, you've already looked at your reference picture. As you can tell here, you're going to derp up a little bit. That part is not necessary. This is actually going to be something for later. So all we're going to do is cut around the outline and get our base shape. After you have it cut out, that's simple. Follow the line with a razor. Don't cut your fingers off. I've done it a few times, but thank God I've got lizard blood in me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see this line here. That is a line that isn't on the actual shield, but it tells me that I need an inclination. Like I need to, inclination, big word there, to incline. I need to sand down some of this and make it look like it's kind of like a piece of wood that they've carved on the edges and made it look that way as well. There needs to be a little bit of sand in here, a little bit of sand in here, and then I'm going to take the sander, like I said, run it down in here and to carve out the best way. And now you're not got a lot of room. Keep that in mind. So you're going to carve out just a little bit here so you have a recess in your little thing, like it's carved out. It's carved out of the wood, because this is wood. And then what we're going to do is just run up here and do a few lines. Make it look like a wood grain. It's that simple. But let me show you. This is going to be the hardest part. Let's get the camera in here and show you. Alright now guys, after the fact of me sanding it, I realized another crucial step. I told you safety first on your razor cutter. I would highly suggest safety when doing the sanding. Not only to protect your hands, but your lungs. When I was sanding that, you'll see me when I start to sand it, me blow dirt and dust of the foam, the powdered foam, out of the grooves as I'm sanding, so I can see what I'm sanding. And you'll notice it's quite a lot. So keep that in mind, because it's thrown into the air through the sanding disc, and you may breathe that in. And I didn't want you going into this thinking, you know, that it's crazy. You can do it in a well-ventilated area, but still you may need just a little dust mask. Nothing too serious. You don't have to have the big respirators. You're not going to fight off the T-virus and fist fight Nemesis or anything, but the point is you're going to encounter a lot of dust. So keep that in mind. Now moving right along. Alright guys and gals, after we're done, maybe I'll take some closer up pictures here in a second before I start the painting process. But as you can tell by the video, I did a lot right here because it looks like it's been chiseled out, which is awesome. The sanding drum attachment there on your Dremel tool will, as you can see, did all of it. I did a few little knots, just little circular things. I know what you're saying, what the, you know, but you're going to paint over all of this. All this is going to be painted over. Your red's going to be here. Your wood grain, your lighter wood grain is going to be right there. So that pretty much looks like the Deku shield. And what we're going to do is start painting it. The next part of the painting phase, and it's going to require some face respiration or a well-ventilated area. I'm going to do it outside, so I hope that you will be okay with not seeing that, because all I'm going to do is paint this side black, because I'm going to paint this side a little bit of white. Now, I'm going to paint it white first because I want the rest of the colors to pop. Because it'll work without the white. But I kind of want the colors to pop a little more, be a little bit more detailed. And I'm going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, that's why you're watching this video, so you can find out. Now that the painting is done, I know what you're saying to yourself, Patrick, that white isn't fully covering the front. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because I put a little thought into it. The white is where the highlights are going to be, because when I lay the brown over the top, which I sprayed, I tried the rub technique, and I really suggest you have a strap piece that you try out. I even cut grooves in it myself so I could see what it would look like in comparison. And I couldn't get that right, my initial idea. So there you go, trial and error. That's a good one. And what we're going to try next is that we're going to hit the white areas, and when we lay this over the white, this area, same brown goes down, but because it's darker, darker brown. Because it's there, we can rub it and that way a little bit, so that way some of the brown will spread out and make a light inside of the tree color, the wood, the meat of the tree, so to speak. This is going to be the bark, and then we're going to spray the red down on the throwaway plate or paper, rub it with our own brush, and we're going to hand rub it in there. Because you got to put some thought into your project. At the Kakariko village, do you think the craftsmen have spray paint? No, they don't have spray paint. I play the game. They don't have spray paint. There is no Sherwin-Williams. For those of you who know what that is a paint store. I hope the rest of you got that joke before I had to explain it. Still, everyone laughed. But he rubbed that dye, the root that he found that was a red tint, he grind mortar and pestle. He's like, ooh, and he painstakingly scooped it out, knowing it was going to stain his hands for like hours. But did he care? No, because he's a craftsman, and he knew he was going to help the hero of time. He didn't know he was, but he knew that that this shield had a great purpose. And so he rubbed it into those, meticulously making sure every little fiber that was seen was soaking up that dye. And at this point you're saying, wow, Patrick is a weirdo. But anyway, let's just get to the painting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you see right there, we're going to be spray painting a little brown and a little white. We're going to make a wonderful color there. We're going to hand paint using just a spray paint. Now, this is a good technique, and if you work fast in a crunch, this is something you can do. I will say, be very, very speedy with it and know what you're going to do before you start spraying it, because you see me having to keep spray it is because it dries real quick. It's going to dry up, and it's going to also dry up in your brush, so you need to work real quick. Keep some water beside you maybe to kind of keep the paint going. Your brush is going to be pretty much gone after that, so yeah. And I'm just rubbing it in there. Alright, here we are laying the red down. I'm using the same technique, spraying it in that little tray to the left of me. It is spray paint, not acrylic paint. You could probably use acrylic, though. Looking back on it, I should have, and I think I use a little bit in it. But I'm just spraying it in there, and later you'll see me add a little bit of brown to this red because it becomes it's a little too bright. I'm trying to add a little bit of extra layers to different areas, make a little depth of field. You know, some parts darker than the others, and there's a little brown I just added right there, putting it in. Quite simple technique, but you got to work quick. Like I said, you spray it in little batches. You don't want to spray a lot, because if you spray a lot out of your can, you're going to waste it, and that stuff is expensive. And that's all I can pretty much say. It just makes it more of a burgundy dark blood color that it'll show up more. That's all I was aiming for. Here I am doing the yellow. I made a little yellow. This is all acrylic that I'm using here. Acrylic yellow with brown and with a little bit of white to lighten it all up. And it makes more of a wood, a fresh wood meat, like the inside of a tree color. And I'm just rubbing a little bit here. It's kind of like there's streaks of it being seen through the wood because it's weathered and used, and he's out there hitting things with it. So yeah. And there you see me adding a little bit of black lines there. Nothing too serious, just adding a little bit of detail, accentuating some of the already grooved lines inside the foam. You can bypass the grooving of the foam if you'd like and go right for this, but I like the depth that it has.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Deku shield and the painting stage is done. Now, you're saying you saw a lot of stuff there that I didn't talk about, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. So, yeah, pull up a chair, get closer, closer, closer. Anyway, what I did there, now I used acrylic paints. Acrylic paints are easy. They're going to work because I'm thinking about putting a clear coat on it. But like I said, I used some of this brown, like acrylic. I used a paint tray with some of my black, my red, and you'll notice this side looks a little yellowy, like actually wood, like a wood. I had a problem with the way it looked, like as you see me painting it before, and it changed. And I showed that because I mixed a little brown, a little yellow, and a little white together to make more of a, you know, like a wood, plywood, the innards of the tree. There it is right there, looking right at it. Treated probably with chemicals that cause flesh-eating diseases, but the point remains the same. It's yellowy. That's what people see. The people of the Kakariko village, or you're trying to pay homage to them. Homage, right? Homage is the word. Mm-hmm. There you go. And as you can see, it's beautiful. I went in there with the black. You're wondering what I did with the black. I did some up-close colors. I went in there and painted a little bit of the red in some spots to make it look kind of chunky, woody, used, beaten. You can roll a little dirt on it if you want. Not going to hurt anything and might actually add realism. But you don't want to put dirt on your stuff. And there you go. We lined a little bit. We made our own lines. Detailed it out. It looks extraordinary. And which brings me to the next point. I'm extraordinarily stupid because I left out a few things. You're going to need strap to make the arm holds to put it on. Because you want to put it on, don't you? Unless you want to mount it on your wall, that's fine. To each his own. But you're here for cosplay. You want the Halloween. And you get all the candies. You want to show the people of the Kakariko village. I've said it. Count how many times. Tell me in the comments below. That you are cool. And I'm sure they didn't have this on Ocarina of Time, but you do, and they would want you to evolve in your armor crafting. Outdoor products. 9-foot lashing strap. Lashing. L-A-S-H. Lashing. To lash things down. You'll find this in a camping section. I talked about this in another video, the last video of the armor crafting. It's crucial to find cool. Look, it's a buckle. I'd buy it just for that. Even if I didn't do anything with it. It's got a buckle on it, but we're not going to use the buckle. We're going to use the strap that we've used left over from another one. We're going to cut it, and let me show you how we're going to do it. Alright, look at my crafty man hands. All you ladies marvel at it. Right here, you lay it on the shield on the back of it. Make sure everything's dry, and you're not ruining the front of your shield. That's a lot of work you're putting into it. You could actually measure this before you did the painting on the front and the detailing, which would probably be a whole lot better. But I digress, or whatever fancy word I'm going to use. You got to have your handhold here. So you want a strap to come across right here. So what you do is you open your hand, or you close your hand, doesn't matter. And you're going to put, like right here is where your hand's at, and measure on the other side, right there. And there you go. Now, you're going to have one right here. You want to put it right here. Stress to add a little extra, so that way you're not the only person who can use it. It'll be universal. But there you go. That's all you have to do there to get that measurement. You get your 2 right here, and that is the arc you're going to have to have. You have to have a pretty good bit of arc there. And then there as your handhold. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the strap. The strap you're going to have to leave a little bit to hot glue. Yes, you're going to need a hot glue gun or some other means like a Elmer's glue or something, whatever. Some kind of craft glue. You're going to measure down here, but you got to leave that little extra for the bulge. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure a little bit more. That should be right good about there. And we're going to cut that right there. You've got to have an arc. Don't forget that. You can't just lay it down and glue it because you can't get your hand up under there. You're going to have to arc it when you glue it to get your hand up under there. And you're going to do the same over here, but you're going to leave quite a bit of arc room because you want to be able to fit your big arm under there. That should be right there. You can always adjust it as you've glued the top. Now that we're back up here, I kind of wanted to bring it back out up here because I run out of memory on my handheld. You got your lines that you marked that we showed up close. What you're going to do, you're going to lay a little hot glue on your hot glue gun. I stress getting a good hot glue gun if you're going to do any kind of crafting. Right there, because you don't want to waste a lot of time. Watch your hand, you're going to burn yourself. Use your long one, lay it right there on top of that glue. Don't do a lot of extra hangover there because you want to make sure that you're good. We're just holding it down until it catches. So we're going to put it on the other side, measure it, and glue it. Because we want to make sure that everything looks good. I wish I would have burned myself.
so you can get some honest-to-goodness screaming of agony and pain. That'll easily get a like. Make sure to like. Do it. Do it for the Kakariko. What, at 5 now, Preston? I don't know. We're having fun. Having fun here! Having fun here. We're a couple Deku nuts. That deserved a comment. You better comment about the Deku nut. If you didn't, then you're some terrible cosplayers. You can give up. What are you doing it for? You're so pompous. You're so evil. If you didn't like that, you didn't giggle at that. What kind of world we live in? Not one of the hero of time I want to save. Okay, now we're going to burn. Okay, we didn't burn ourselves. I scared myself. I thought hot was fixing to happen. Okay, we lay our arm down. Get our positioning, and right about there is good. We're going to put a little bit more. As you can see, the arc, like I was speaking about, run your arm up in there. Yeah. Now we're going to do the same thing, but on a smaller scale with less arc. If you have any other ways of gluing it without hot glue, please tell me in the comments below. I'd like to give it a shot on some of my other future ones. And I'm sure the younger cosplayers who don't have access to a hot glue gun may, in fact, would like to do that. And if you help, and if younger cosplayers or other cosplayers, feel free to go to their channel and show them some love if that comment, in fact, helps you on your cosplay build. And thumbs them up. Thumbs up them comments that are appropriate to the build. That's important. We're all trying to help here. But there you have it. There's our other one. I'm impatient, so we're gonna get brown. How did brown find its way on the? I mean, it's okay. We just rub it. And there you go. If you spill a little that you don't need, just rub it in. That's how you solve that problem. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The finished Deku shield. Suitable for the hero of time, so I hope it is suitable for you. I hope you share this video because it keeps me from being poor. You can be my hero of time by sharing this video. So, I can eat. Anyway, guys, thanks again for being a part of this. I want to do this more often. Give me some feedback with your comments and your thumbs up if you want to see little cosplay builds like this. It's getting close to Halloween, so I'm going to dump a lot of them out on you anyway. And it's going to help me to prepare for MMO Crap and other videos, because you may see this, and when you do, make sure on the MMO Crap episode you thumbs it up and you tell me about it. You tell me, I seen you build that, you beast of a man, you beast of time. Guys, again, I stress, thank you for watching. I hope you will join me for other videos and other cosplay builds. After I get done running my mouth, there will be some links and a subscribe button. I hope you find this tutorial amusing and you'll hit the subscribe button. I hope you'll hit the other links and check those out because they'll be cosplay related, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not going to put myself dancing as one of them. I have to scratch my Deku nuts.